Hello and welcome to Oyako with Hannah and Brent.
And it's 2025 when this is released.
Congratulations, omedetou gozaimasu.
Happy late New Year.
So what's going on? What's new?
So I'm audio listening a book right now.
You're audio listening to a book, okay?
Yeah. And it's called When the Coffee Gets Cold.
When the coffee gets cold, okay?
Why are you writing things down?
So I can write it down.
This is so formal today. It's like a job interview. It's called When the Coffee Gets Cold.
Yes.
Written by a Japanese author. Again,
Of course, yes.
my obsession with Japanese authors. And it is an interesting thing. So, the title literally just gives away what the book is about.
Okay.
It is about a cafe
Mm-hmm.
that allows you to time travel.
Okay.
And
Forward or backwards?
back.
Okay.
You cannot change
Can't
the
go
future.
forward. Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Well, you can change the future if you travel back.
so the how you time travel. So there's different rules when you need to time travel in this book, okay?
Okay.
Rule number 1, the person that you are trying to talk to in this time travel, because usually when you time travel, you want to fix a mistake, right? That's literally one of the reasons,
Okay.
mainly the reasons why people want to time travel.
To go back and try and fix something that they
Yes.
screwed up on? Okay.
Yes. The only thing is though, with this one, you can only go back to the cafe. So you and this other person you want to talk to needs to
Oh, you
have
can't even leave the cafe to go wherever you want.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's confined within the four walls of this particular cafe.
Yes.
So if you want to fix something, it needs to be fixed.
Within that cafe, but the person like you have in the past, both of you had to have visited this cafe
Okay,
at
okay,
some
got you,
point.
got you.
So that's rule number
Rule
one.
number one, yep.
Rule number 2, it has to be on a specific seat, which is always it's non-vacant all the time.
Okay.
Only time it is this woman, she'll get up for once a day to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
And that's
Otherwise,
it.
she's sitting there.
Otherwise, she's sitting
Okay.
there.
Gotcha.
Another rule is whatever you fix in the past will not affect the present. But it may affect the future because of what you did, but the present will not change.
The present of the past or the present of...
The present of this now will not change.
Okay. So how do you... Okay.
Okay? And there's a time limit as well.
Okay. What's the time limit?
Time limit is when the coffee gets cold. You need
Coffee gets cold pretty damn quick.
exactly, which makes it a fun book. So, I won't go into all the details,
Okay.
but you need to finish the coffee while it is still lukewarm or before it's
Not
cold.
cold. Okay.
In order for you to come back to the present.
Fascinating story. Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating rules. Okay.
Yes. Which I thought was interesting. And you only get 1 cup of coffee. That's
Okay.
it.
Gotcha.
And that's really about it. So people that usually go there in the book wants to talk to a person but don't know these rules, and when they find out, they're like, well, what's the point? If it doesn't change the present, what's the point of it?
And these rules are too restrictive, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, well, I visited this cafe before, but this person hasn't. Then, oh, sorry, you can't come back then. You can't time travel then. Is the whole thing.
Okay.
The woman taking the chair, I won't go into details, but there's a reason why that woman is in that chair. She broke a rule or two, and
She's kind of stuck there?
You're stuck.
She is stuck.
That woman who takes over that chair is stuck.
Okay.
So if you want to read the book, which I highly recommend, or just listening to it, I recommend. Anyway, reason
Did you download
why
it for free? Did you pay for it?
it's on Spotify.
Oh, it's free on Spotify?
Yeah.
My goodness. Okay.
Yeah. So the reason why I think I'm bringing up this book is because if you were to go to this cafe, would you? I guess. Yeah, if you were to go to this cafe, would you go there for the sole purpose to time travel?
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
Okay. Maybe.
And let's just hypothetically, you've already visited this cafe before with whoever.
Okay.
would you go back and talk to that person that you want to talk to?
Hmm.
Or because again, it doesn't affect the present, but what you say in the past may affect the future.
Okay.
So would you?
Would I go back? I doubt it.
Mm.
I doubt it. This, yeah, I don't think so. And I think I would love to go back to the. I would love to go back into the past to talk to certain historical figures and other things, but I would not go back to try and quote unquote fix something. I
What if you wanted to tell them not to fix something, but you
mhm.
wanted to tell them something? Oh, I should have said this in this conversation.
I don't think so. Um, because if I can say it in the past, then I might as well just say it now,
That's true. That's true.
right?
Yeah.
I think that we carry a lot of luggage from our past. So we have a lot of regrets and we have a lot of things we wish we said or didn't say, and we pack them up into large suitcases, okay? And we zip them up and we carry them with us into the future. And these suitcases get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? And we carry them with us. I think that, and so that causes a couple of things. So the positive thing about that is it makes us who we are, right? The past makes us who we are. But carrying around luggage and regrets or past things that we think we should have said, could have said, or that we wanted to say or didn't say, or people we harmed or whatever. I think that that's if you learn from it, you don't need to bring that luggage with you. I think it could be fairly small,
Mm.
and that doesn't mean discounting what you did, but
Mm-hmm.
really truly learning from it, and that takes introspection. That means opening up the luggage and going through each piece of you know past and saying why did I do it that way. If you just keep the luggage closed all the time and don't ever open it to inspect what's in there and really think about why that's in there, then I think you're missing the point. Yeah, but that's what I would say. I wouldn't. I don't think I would go in the past.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but a lot of people spend a lot of time in the past, and it adversely affects their future,
Yeah.
present,
Yeah.
and future. Right. But there, a lot of people are incapable of or afraid of um, opening up that luggage and seeing what's in there.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
A lot of it's trauma, so people react to trauma differently. Um, Men react to trauma differently. Women react to trauma differently. And so while help is available to get, it's expensive and it's time consuming, but mostly expensive. And so a lot of people don't go and they try to fix themselves. And they investigate different religions, different out of body experiences. They investigate a whole bunch of spiritual things. And some people find peace in that, and others don't. And they turn to drugs or OnlyFans or whatever they want to do. But it's true, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I think I say drugs and alcohol.
well, drugs, alcohol. Well, alcohol is a
You
drug, or
you
other
said
or
only.
other bad behavior, right? Alcohol is a symptom. It's not a cause. You're hiding or running or escaping from something when you do drugs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so that's an issue, right?
Yeah.
But no, long story short, I wouldn't. I don't think that I would, but I would certainly try to. If there was a place that I wanted to go back into, a specific place in time at that cafe that I wanted to go back to with a certain person and say a certain thing, I would. I wouldn't say why didn't I say it. I would be asking myself introspectively, why didn't I say it then? Like, why didn't I say it? What was the cause of stopping me from saying it? And can I say it now? Those are the questions I would ask.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
Difficult stuff,
Yeah.
but fascinating concept,
Yeah.
right? Like I think
It's
that's really
fun.
cool. So in the book, do a lot of people choose or want to go back into the past?
Um, so obviously it only focuses on specific characters,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Yeah.
um a lot of them are focused on just, I should have said this to them, because in the present they don't have contact with this person anymore.
Interesting.
So uh
Does it go through why they don't have contact with the person? Was it something they didn't say? Was it specifically tied to that?
yeah, so like, for an example, the very first character in the book that they introduce you to, she wanted to go back because she thought she found the love of her life,
But she didn't tell him.
but then he got accepted to a dream job. So this takes place in Japan, right? And he got accepted to a dream job in the US. And she broke it off
Well, she couldn't
not
go,
nicely.
right? Oh, okay.
But since then, she has been regretting it forever, which forever as in like a week.
Oh, I see.
Just a
Okay.
week. So she's been regretting it, not telling him not to go. So when she went back, she told him not to go. But obviously, it doesn't change the present, right? But the way the conversation went differently, which was him saying, "Wait for me." Which as before it went, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna leave then." So
So she did change it. She was able to
she
change it.
did change the past, obviously not the present, because he's in the U.S. But so then she was like, she went up to the cafe person and said, "Well, it didn't change now, right?" And they said yes. So she's like, "Well, did it affect the future?" And they said, "The future is literally up
Still
to
to be
what."
made.
Yeah. So, depends on how your conversation went, right?
I was thinking go back in time 30 or 40 years, but if you're a young person, I guess a week is a long time ago.
Yeah. In the book, I think she's 28,
That's not that old.
but
Still young.
she that was like the very first time travel character that they introduce you to. So yeah, I mean, if you're in
Interesting
love with
concept.
somebody and you break it off and then you're like, actually didn't say the right thing and I should have said this.
But isn't that what therapy kind of is, where where you might not be able to physically go into the past, but some therapies are taking you back to where you were at a time when there was some trauma or something you didn't say that you have regret that's totally affecting your life, and you try to walk yourself through that in order to make amends with what you didn't say. I
Yeah,
mean, that's kind of what it is, right? Sometimes.
yes.
Yeah.
But therapy can only go so far where you
Well,
can make amends with yourself, but you may not be able to make amends with the person that you have affected.
yeah, and you have to be comfortable with that.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of
We can't
time.
force people to do stuff.
Yeah. So I think
Well, a lot of time when you want to go in the past, it's because somebody did something to you.
mm,
I can think of people that have traumatic experiences and end up where it affects their life so much that they have really horrible circumstance, or they've put themselves or made choices, and which have caused them to be in horrible circumstance. Still, the choice is theirs, but they were affected deeply by some traumatic incident of abuse or whatever. And if that happened to me, I would want to go into the past and, you know, kill the person that did that. If so, but you can't do that, right?
but you can't do that in the book. Sorry,
Yeah.
one more
But
rule.
that's what I mean.
You're not allowed to get off that chair.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to even get up. You just have to sit and talk to
But that's what
the
I mean,
person.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit of I don't know if narcissism is the right word, but oftentimes we want to go in the past and fix things that want make us feel better.
Mm-hmm.
The other person long forgot, has been my experience, or doesn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And often, if we're not honest or vocal about our feelings in the past, the person has no idea that we felt that way anyway. So why should they care?
Yes.
And so then we begin to build a story in our mind about create a whole narrative around a particular story when the other person's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, that usually falls in line with like, oh, I said that in the wrong tone and you just think about it forever. It could be, but obviously
Well,
there's,
your mom does that all the time
yeah.
at work, right?
Yeah.
I worry about the tone that I said something or a word that I chose at work or the way presented something for on on the long A long time for me would be a week, very rare, maybe a day. And then I'm like, once the day's done, there might be little tentacles of it the next day and maybe the day after, but those, they soon fade into smoke and ash and fly away. And that stuff doesn't, mostly doesn't bother me, I think.
Yeah. But like, yeah, extreme cases where you affected this person more than just the tone,
Mm.
then the chances are if they haven't forgotten about it. So that's different cases. But
Uh, it's interesting. So is there any people, are there any people in the book that have an expectation of changing something or saying something and it doesn't turn out the way that they want? Are you for that far in yet?
no, so far things have been good.
Mm.
I'm only halfway through the book, so I don't know
Okay.
how it ends for some people.
Okay.
They're just introducing the second or third character that is about to time travel.
Mm.
They're just waiting for that woman to leave the chair because she
Mm.
leaves literally once a day
Oh, I see.
to use the bathroom.
It's interesting. I mean, if you're, a lot of times we have these, these expectations that we can say or do something that would change something or someone, and they don't pan out.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering in the book if somebody wants to go back in time, say something, and have an expectation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There is one character. I think he's gonna be time traveling the last. It's kind of giving that vibe because so far he's been waiting forever. He he has a caretaker or like a daughter or somebody that drops him off and picks him up
At this cafe.
at this
Okay.
cafe. So he just waits for this woman to get off but the chair, but
So
he
far.
just
Mm.
hasn't had the time. So it's kind of giving that he's gonna time travel last kind of character.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's symbolic of the situation where a lot of us are put in,
Yeah.
or sometimes, uh, you know, people say it's hard to be, um, people say it's hard to be honest with other people. It's hard to be very honest with other people. It's hard to be one. It's even harder to be 100% honest with other people. But it is my experience in my 50 years. It is the hardest to be honest with yourself, truly, truly honest with yourself. Because if you are, it means you have to make changes. The world around you doesn't have to make changes. You have to make changes
Mm-hmm.
to change yourself and react differently to the things that happen to you. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Most people won't do it.
Yeah.
Some people will do it sometimes, but not all people will do it all the time. And even more rare, all the people won't do it most of the time.
Yeah.
Won't, right? Oh, yeah, he made me mad, or I'm on drugs because of this, or I went here and did that because of this. No, dude, between the time of having the between the time of having something happen to you and you making a choice to react to it, there's a time period in there where you're able to contemplate how to react. And oftentimes we react, like at the airport the other day when this guy honked. So, story is, we drove up to the airport and I stopped in a zone, and it was a proper unloading zone, but a bus behind me honked at me because they thought I was in their space. I thought they had enough room.
They did.
They
There was like,
more than
yeah.
had enough room. Anyway, this knucklehead gets out of the bus and he says, "The sign says you can't park here." The sign doesn't say that. The sign says immediate drop off, which is what we're
Which is
doing.
what we were doing.
So how did I react? I called the guy, a few bad names and stuff. Um,
It wasn't that bad.
it wasn't that.
You
I
literally
called
called
him
him old man.
old. Well, yeah, but the problem is I'm probably older than him. So. But here's the thing. Between the time he said that and the time that I reacted to him, I made some choices in there to call him a name, to call him a couple of names, and react the way I did. The question then is, why did I choose in that at that instance, in that time, with the wording from that person, did I choose to react in that particular way? And what's more, when my children uh, said some things to me, I also reacted. And so then the question is, why did I react that way? What was it? What is it in my psyche, or what is it in my mind that would cause me to make those choices to react that way? So the unpleasant part is realizing that, yeah, it was my choice. I did have a choice, and I did choose to react that way. That's very unpleasant, especially when as I get older, I think I'm more mellow, but it's unpleasant to realize I chose to react that way. Nobody made me. The deeper unpleasantry is that there's a reason I reacted that way, and I'm not sure I know what the reason is, but I think that introspection um, is something that's important for people to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told that story to Chelsea, and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Oh, I understand your dad. I hate the airport." No one likes the airport. Everybody's grumpy at the airport. They're about to start a shift. I don't know, like,
I hate the airport. I hate
and
the.
they
Yeah.
just they're getting off a 10-hour flight. No one likes the airport, but you don't like. Anyway, and then so I was talking to her about reacting, and Chelsea's motto is like, what did she say? Um, Kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
So Chelsea likes to get angry on the road. She said, and whenever somebody flips her off when they're driving or something, she just blows them a kiss.
That'll probably make him more mad.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She said, "I love it," because they and it made sense to me. Like when you flip somebody off, you expect them to get back to you with anger or flip you off as well. But if it comes back with a kiss or a wave, then it becomes even more like a, why you're so positive when I'm so angry at you.
Yeah, yeah. Or I mean, the other way is just not to react at all.
Or yeah, I don't like to react.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
to each their own. But I thought, yeah, killing with kindness is always better than reacting negatively, I think, because it also sets your tone as a person,
hmm.
right? So even if the other person is angry and whatever day they're having, the way you react sets your tone and your day, and it might set their
Yeah, I mean,
day as well,
yeah.
you know?
Well, the other thing is you're not obligated to react at all,
Yeah. But
right?
but
You,
it's totally up to you. But if
right?
you're going to react, why not kill them with kindness? You know?
Yeah. Well, I recently I've been better at it. This particular airport one wasn't good, but recently I've been better at just ignoring.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's nothing dangerous, if there's nothing inherently dangerous to anyone, or that will put me in danger by helping someone who is in danger, then I will. Then I don't. I stay away from stuff now. When I was younger, if I saw some people fighting on the street, or if I saw something, somebody doing something, I would stupid. I would say something. No, I just, hey man, I mean, whatever. I'll stay away.
Yeah.
But back to the cafe. I think in our minds, I think we can go to a cafe, right?
Yeah. The only problem is not literal. It's too bad that you can't go back in time and do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to do, in my opinion, if you're under all those rules, right? I think you'd have to do a lot of planning about what to say to try and. I think you'd have to do a lot of planning.
Yeah. Because you, what?
Number one, you don't have much time.
Yeah, how long does it take for a cup of coffee to get cold? 10
Yeah,
minutes?
less than that probably.
That's so short.
Hmm.
That's so short.
That's what I mean. The planning involved, right?
Yeah.
The cool thing, and we don't usually have that much time to plan a conversation
At
or
all,
a
actually.
reaction.
Yeah.
So if I was going to choose to do something, I think I would fret over it for quite a while, and then go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
But I would plan extensively. I think I would write it down probably. What am I gonna say? Write it down.
Can you imagine going back in time and you're the person that they want to meet and you're sitting there all of a sudden
The notes come out.
notes come out and you're like, where did that come
What's
from?
going on? Yeah. No, it's interesting.
Yeah. Um,
but you can choose how to react. I mean, I had I had some stuff at the beginning of the year where it was there were some certain things with business stuff that were bothering me so much about people that I loved and family in particular that just bothered me so much. One day I just sat down and I made the conscious effort to let all the weight that was on my shoulders just go. And and it it wasn't as easy as that, and it took a lot of effort, but it was just gone. And so anytime I feel weight like that coming on for the same reason about this circumstance, business and stuff, I tell myself the weight. I literally speak to myself and say something like, "The weight is not worth it." Weight meaning WEIGHT, right? The heaviness
Mm-hmm.
is not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think more people should probably investigate that within themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just
There are weights that are worth it, by the way, but there are some that aren't. So you have to figure out how to release those.
yeah, and also, oh, my chats with Chelsea is so good. I'm just
Hmm.
gonna keep referring to that for now. Um, but we were also talking about which, so I didn't know until she told me this, but your brain can't differentiate between like when you're talking to yourself versus when you're talking to somebody else.
Interesting. Okay.
So I didn't know this. So if you're saying so like, oh, that's so stupid, or she's so stupid, or you're so stupid,
The negative words, right? They
yeah, then
affect you.
it actually affects your brain and your
Yep.
uh, just you in general, because your brain can't differentiate if you're talking about you yourself
Hmm.
or somebody else.
Yep.
So then that negativity, that negative word that you're using to other people, then now affects
Affects you. Yeah.
you, and
Yep.
now your brain unconsciously um
Yeah.
believes
It
that.
starts to believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say stupid a lot, so I'm gonna challenge you to not say it.
Why not say
Silly.
silly?
Silly or funky. Um,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
so I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all, but it makes sense. How is your brain able to tell the difference? Like,
Well, you point out to me this I say stupid a lot. So when you speak to people and really listen, you can hear patterns in in their speaking that are reflective of their thinking.
mhm.
And so in certain settings, I might say the word stupid a lot. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm more comfortable. I don't know. In certain settings, I won't say it at all. In certain settings, so but you can hear that in other people, and so we are able to gain an understanding or a vibe,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? A vibe about certain people just by the way they talk, and you
Yes.
can feel it sometimes, right? So I'm a little bit of a believer in the vibrations of people, the vibes of people. I think it's a real thing. You can feel it, right?
Yeah.
So okay, I will make an effort to stop saying the word stupid,
Okay.
unless it refers to Justin Trudeau, Jagmeet Singh.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's only political figures.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I did. Anyway, I thought that was a neat
That's cool.
thing
So
to
it's
say.
free on Spotify.
Oh yeah, when
It's
the coffee
called
gets cold.
When the Coffee Gets Cold, and I'm gonna download that and listen to it on the plane to Japan.
It's so good.
Okay.
It's really good. The amount of, like you said, weight these people carry and the
Hmm.
reasons
The luggage
they
they
go
carry.
there. Like, yeah, you said the wrong thing to your ex-boyfriend, but you want to go back a week just to say not to go?
That's luggage you don't need to carry around.
No, but I mean, she's in the book, she's 28, and being Japanese, her parents were bugging her to get married, and she was like, "Oh, this is the love of my life." So who knows what will
We'll
happen?
see what happens.
But these characters literally come in, explain their situation, and once they finish the time travel, they leave. So
We don't
we
know.
don't know what
Oh, we
happens
don't
to
even
them.
know.
Mm-mm.
Oh, fascinating.
So They just come and go. So it's literally like mm, you are the cafe.
Mm.
It feels like you're the cafe watching these people go through this.
Fascinating writing.
And
Wow.
they do explain the past of these people, and that's why you know why they want to go back. But other than that, it's just like they don't give you any more information. You don't know anything else about these people.
Okay. I'll
You just
listen to
come and
this
go.
book. We'll come back in a few weeks and we'll give you an updated opinion of some of the things we talked about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
How long has it been?
Chodin, Jenny.
Do you want to stop at 30 minutes today? Okay. I think it's a good, yeah, today was a good topic. So short and simple and sweet.
And deep. A little bit deep.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, there you go. So if you ever figure out time traveling, please let me know because I would like to I would like to try it out.
Not possible. Never be possible.
Well, if it happens, I would like to try it out.
Never possible. It negates, well, from a Christian point of view, time travel absolutely negates sin. Christ's suffering negates it completely. So it's not possible from a Christian or Muslim or, well, any Abrahamic religion.
Wait,
Theology. It would completely negate that theology. 100%.
why?
Well, because you could sin in the past, and and then you could go back into the past and unsin. So what did Christ die for? Or you could sin twice. Or make it worse.
Oh my
It doesn't work.
God.
Can't work. Right?
Yeah.
Unsin. Not make that choice. Not do that thing. Okay. No. From Christianity point of view, time travel would not only be against the theology, but it would negate God entirely, in my opinion.
Huh. That would make sense.
Mm.
But not everybody would go back in time travel.
No, but if you had enough people go back in time, I mean, it would just be chaos, right? You would literally have all these different time threads. I think the universe would implode in it on itself. Anyway, my opinion, I don't think it's possible. I know about as much as quantum, all that theory, time travel theory as anybody, but from a theological point of view, from a God point of view.
So from a religious point of view.
No, not from a religious point of view. I think just from there's no learning in being able to do things over again. In my opinion, because if you know time travel is possible, and you make a mistake, you can go back and fix it. So there's no learning.
Yes.
Or just fix it.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'll just go fix it.
Yeah. Oh,
What'd you learn?
nothing.
Well, what you learned is there's no responsibility. There's no consequence. You
Right.
just fix it.
Yeah.
So, not possible.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, I still want to try time travel if it ever becomes possible in my lifetime.
I'd love to go forward in time. 100 years, see what's going on. See if the machines have taken over.
Ooh, that's
See
scary.
if humans are slave to the machines and Neo is, right? Neo's plugged into the Matrix.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
Maybe it's not 100 years away. Maybe it's closer.
Ooh, that's scary. Well, that was it for today.
Mm-hmm.
A short
Thanks for the
short
book
one.
idea. That's great.
You're welcome. I like it. I like books. And it's even better that you just get to listen to it. It's like a podcast.
Yeah. Well, download it and listen to it on the plane.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm watching crap Hollywood movies on the stupid small screen.
Yeah. You said it again.
Dang it. On the silly small screen.
Okay. Well,
right.
Have a great night or day, whoever you are that is listening. And join us next time when we are back from Japan. It may have fun stories, interesting stories.
Yeah.
We'll see. If not, I'll recommend another book.
Awesome. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.